Trump win, the impact on your IRA. Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney, founder of IRA Financial, and welcome to another episode of Adam Talks. Today's podcast, I'm going to explain the landslide Trump victory. Well, I'm not going to really explain how it happened because that's not what I do, but I'm going to talk about the impact it is going to have on your IRA, your self-directed IRA, and your retirement accounts. The stock markets, the crypto markets are jumping for joy because cryptos have been up around 30% since the victory. Bitcoin is hovering around 90,000 on the day of this taping. The markets, the equity markets are flying high. I've heard from people, just a lot of friends that are in the investment banking, private equity, venture capital world that, putting aside politics, there's just a sense of euphoria. People feel like it's 2021, 22 again, where deals are, potentially starting to happen again, and people just have a lot of confidence. Maybe the thought is that it's just, we're happy someone won by a landslide, so it's not a close election. There's no recounts. There's no uncertainty here. There's absolute certainty. President Trump, January 20th, will take office, and the Republicans are going to control the House and Senate. So we can go back and look at some of Trump's policies when he was president, and also look at his proposed tax policies. And I've talked about this on some previous podcasts, but I think it's helped just recapping it real quick. So we all know probably the most impactful part of the Trump presidency from a tax standpoint was his 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which reduced the corporate tax rate, took away a lot of itemized deductions, made standard deductions, and had some pass-through tax benefits for pass-through investments like real estate. But we know from his proposed tax policies that he wants to lower the corporate tax rate from 21 to 20%, which will have an impact for IRA or 401k investors that want to use a C Corp blocker to block what's called UBIT, unrelated business income tax. And that can get triggered if an IRA or 401k invests in an active business through a pass-through entity like an LLC, or if they use leverage to buy real estate in the IRA setting. Using a C Corp blocker will reduce the 37% UBIT tax all the way down to 21%. But if Trump lowers the corporate tax rate to 20%, it'll even be a bigger advantage and offer more opportunity to use the C Corp blocker strategy. There's also some chatter about the estate and wealth tax and make the expiring estate tax cuts from 2017 permanent. He also wanted to reduce some individual tax rates. He talked about increasing or replacing the personal income tax with increased tariffs and also bringing back the state and local deduction, which a lot of people, especially in New York and California, would be happy about. But from a retirement standpoint, there's nothing been proposed. Why? Because retirement accounts, the retirement system works. We know President Biden did in the Build Back Better bill of 2021, where there was some positions about capping IRAs, Roth IRAs at $10 million, and some other limitations on Roth conversions. Vice President Harris had some similar thoughts in her projected tax policies, but President Trump has nothing on that area. So I think from an IRA, self-directed IRA, alternative asset standpoint, again, putting aside politics, because this is not a political podcast, it's very advantageous. The Trump presidency, the Trump victory is probably very good for IRA, 401k investors. Obviously, it's been good for crypto and traditional investors in the equity markets. But for alternative asset investors, I think it's going to be good. Less regulations, better, right, for investors. So I think that's why the markets are performing the way they are after the Trump victory, because investors don't want a lot of government intervention, a lot of government regulation, which I don't think we're going to see. So I think from a self-directed IRA perspective, I think I'm super bullish on the opportunities. I think alternative asset investments are going to continue to grow in popularity. I don't see any limitations on Roth conversions, no caps on IRAs or Roths. I don't see any of that being part of the Trump presidency. We'll see, obviously, in the next 2 years what happens with the House. But I think no matter, even if the Democrats do take the House, from a policy standpoint, I'm not sure you're going to see a Trump presidency really focus on limiting people's retirement accounts and adding more government red tape to people's ability to save using alternative assets. So I think from a retirement standpoint, the Trump presidency will be positive. Again, I'm putting aside politics. I'm not getting into immigration and borders and inflation. This is just a focus on IRAs and retirement accounts. And I think ultimately it's a good thing for your IRA or 401k. Again, you may not be happy personally. That's fine. But I think your IRA or 401k will grow. I think you're going to see a strong economy. I don't know about the tariffs. I'm not going to get in. Will that trigger inflation? Maybe. But just from a perspective of having less government intervention, more ability to diversify, more opportunity to do different types of investments, whether it's cryptos, real estates, private placements, those opportunities are going to continue to grow. We want to control our future. We want to be able to invest in what we want, subject to some prohibited transaction rules and collectibles, life insurance. Otherwise, we want to have the control. We want to have the power to be successful or not, and that should be on us and not on the government. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast, thank you. Don't forget to give it a 5-star rating, like it. All that stuff helps to boost the podcast so more people can listen to it. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Hope you enjoy our new studio. So kind of upgrade, got new offices, some cool stuff happening at IRA Financial. So hopefully you enjoy it and look forward to hearing from you. Don't hesitate to leave comments and thumbs up would be great. Otherwise, have an amazing rest of your day and look forward to seeing everyone next week on the next Adam Talks. Thanks.